Aarav was the kind of man everyone admired. Smart, polite, hard-working. The one who always smiled even when he was tired. He worked as a designer in a small company, loved his job, and dreamed of building something meaningful one day. His friends saw him as confident. But deep inside, Aarav hid a quiet fear, the fear of not being enough. One morning, he received an email that would change everything. Due to company downsizing, your position has been terminated. Just one line, and his whole world collapsed. He stared at the screen in disbelief, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat that had just stopped. He walked out of the office carrying a small box of his things. People around him carried on, busy, unaware, while he felt invisible. Days turned into weeks. The world kept moving, but Aarav didn't. He sent resumes, attended interviews, but rejection followed rejection. Each no felt heavier than the last. At night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling. A small voice whispered, "You're not good enough. You're a failure." And soon, he started believing it. Every morning, he stood in front of the mirror, trying to smile. But all he saw was a man who had lost his spark. The mirror no longer showed his face. It showed his doubts. He stopped meeting friends. He ignored calls from his mother, and slowly he disconnected from the world. One evening, as the sky turned gray and rain began to fall, Aarav walked aimlessly through the streets. He didn't know where he was going. He just wanted to disappear into the sound of the storm. He passed busy shops, laughing crowds, and glowing lights, all reminders of a life he no longer felt part of. Finally, he sat down near an old tea stall, exhausted and lost. Under the shelter of that tea stall sat an old man. His beard was white, his eyes calm. He was painting a broken clay pot, carefully filling its cracks with golden paint. Curious, Aarav asked softly, "Why repair something that's already broken?" The old man smiled. "Because it's still useful. And now, it's beautiful too." The old man held the pot toward the light. "You see these cracks?" he said. "They're not flaws. They're proof this pot has survived. Every line tells a story." Aarav watched quietly, feeling something shift inside him. He realized he'd spent months trying to hide his cracks instead of healing them. That night, Aarav couldn't sleep. The rain still echoed in his mind, along with the old man's words. Broken doesn't mean useless. He stood before the mirror again, but this time, he didn't see a failure. He saw someone who had fallen, but was still standing. For the first time in months, he whispered, "I'm not finished yet." The next morning, Aarav woke early. He cleaned his messy room, opened the windows, and let sunlight in. He made tea and wrote in a notebook, "Start again, one step at a time." He began fixing small things around his house, an old chair, a broken lamp, a leaky pipe. It was nothing big, but it made him feel alive again. Soon neighbors noticed. A widow next door asked if he could repair her table. A group of kids asked him to help with their school project. And little by little, Aarav started saying yes. Each task brought a small smile. Each thank you added warmth to his heart. He wasn't rich again, but he was no longer empty. One day, a friend visited and saw the furniture Aarav had repaired. "Man, these are beautiful. You could actually sell them." Aarav laughed, then paused. Maybe he could. He started a small workshop in his garage, calling it Golden Hands. He took old, broken furniture and restored it, just like he was restoring himself. Weeks later, Aarav returned to the same tea stall, carrying a repaired stool. The old man was there, sipping tea. Aarav smiled. "I fixed this one. Not perfect, but strong again." The old man chuckled. "So are you, son. So are you." Months passed. Aarav's workshop grew. People from nearby towns came to see his work, not because it was flawless, but because each piece had a story. One customer asked him, "How do you make broken things so beautiful?" Aarav smiled, remembering the golden pot, by not hiding the cracks. One morning, Aarav stood again before the mirror, the same one that once reflected doubt. But now he smiled. The face was the same, but the eyes were alive again. He realized the man he once hated had become the man he was proud of. Aarav, standing by the river at sunset, golden light shining on the water. Narrator, warm, emotional. Nobody is perfect. We all carry cracks, scars, mistakes, and regrets. But perfection isn't what makes us valuable. What makes us beautiful is the courage to start again. So if you ever feel worthless, remember this. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are enough, just as you are. Your flaws don't make you weak. They make you human. Every scar tells a story of survival. Stop chasing perfection. Start embracing progress.